It's been 6 months since my last channel update, so let's take some time to reflect and to celebrate and talk about what's happening next. So let's do some celebrating. First off, I want to hear from you. So when you do go away from this video, click the community tab and answer a couple of polls I have there about some options I have for what to do next. So you can influence where we're headed. But where have we gone? Well, from the start till now, about 10 months, we've gotten to 5,500 subscribers. You're probably one of them. So thank you for that. I've produced a bunch of videos, a little over 100 in that time, and most of those are about CCNA, instructional content, and then CCNA review videos. I think that's pretty important. So I'm going to continue in that thread over time, most likely, but there are some variations on that. We've been growing this channel together. Thank you for that. I can't do that without you, of course, because you've been great about doing likes and comments. Thanks for that. And all the subscriptions. Thanks again. I've also seen an uptick in people that take the time to click my link tree and then click the products option when you do buy something at Amazon or Cisco Press, because then I get a few dollars credit from those companies without it costing you any extra money, and it helps me monetize the channel. So let's talk about goals that I've already had and how we've done and celebrate the success there. First off, one of my first goals was to have fun doing this. Nobody's making me do this. I don't have a boss that says, go do this, Wendell. I work for myself. And I said, it's time to finally do a YouTube channel. So I'm having a blast doing that. So that's one of the main goals. Second is, for those of you that are book readers, I wanted to make sure the instructional videos took a different approach than the book to give you a different voice in covering each of the topics. I think we've done pretty well at that. And then for everybody who's studying CCNA, whether you have the books or not, I wanted to make sure the instructional videos were effective, but also to focus on review and retrieval practice. For every topic, there's something you can use to review it. And I think we've done pretty good with that. We can even get out our chairs and go around our trendy office space like in the graphic I picked. So if you've got a place you can do chair races around, you can take a moment and run around and do a few whoops to celebrate. So I think we've done pretty well. I think we've met what my initial goals for the channel were, to then say, let's take a step back and think about what's next. Now let's talk about reaching the milestone that we met last week here at the channel. For backdrop, there are 2 books in the 2-book CCNA official cert guide set because it doesn't fit in one physical volume. Each of the books separates the content into parts, 7 parts in volume 1, 6 in volume 2. Each part contains multiple chapters. For instance, in volume 1, here's the chapter breakdown in the first 5 parts in the current edition of the book. That's the one with that green swoosh on the front cover. Then inside each chapter, there are multiple sections. So my goal with this CCNA Reading Break playlist here at the channel was this: to create 1 or more videos that covered all the content in one of those sections. So sometimes it was 1 video per section, sometimes it was a couple, depending on the size of the section. And if you look at those orange highlights, each of the 29 chapters in volume 1, I've got instructional content and review videos for at least 1 section from every chapter. So we've effectively, as of last week, as it turns out, met that goal. So again, do your celebrating with me. Leave a comment, run your chair around your trendy office space, give me a hoop hoop, whatever. And it's pretty exciting for me. That was one of the main goals I had to get us to this point, so then we could branch out and pivot as needed to do other things. But first significant milestone reached last week. All right, enough of that celebrating. Let's talk about what's next, right? So my first goal here in calendar year 2025, which I've committed to myself to go after, I'm starting next week a new lab series and a new playlist along with that. I'm going to start out in that lab series with a bunch of videos about the CML Free Edition, or CML Free as it's known, about how to best use that for CCNA preparation. And then I'm going to keep making Config Lab oriented videos. Those are labs you'll find on my blog site. And in the Config Lab videos, on some of them, I'll create lab intro and lab review videos. And in some of those, I'll create the CML intro videos that help you figure out how to do that lab using CML Free Edition. Now, I think I'll be in that series from February 2025, maybe through April, maybe May. Depends on how much feedback and what kind of feedback I get from all of you as to how long I'll be doing that. Then I've got a couple of options. Neither is committed. So it would be either or neither, depending on what kind of feedback I get and how things are going in the world with me. So here's the deal. I've completed about not quite 50% of the sections in Volume 1 in terms of matching videos, but barely anything in Volume 2. So the options are get back to content, instructional videos with review videos, and complete 100% of the Volume 1 topics, so that when somebody comes along, they see all of what's in Volume 1. Or I can move on to Volume 2 and get those first sections in Volume 2. And just to show you visually, right now, the orange sections on this graphic are the ones that are already complete. So I'd go through and fill those in. That's a little more than the same amount of work I've already put into the channel so far to fill that in. Or I move on to Volume 2, where I say, let me fill in the Section 1 videos and create those. That's 24 chapters, so it's 24 chapters of section videos along with review videos to go in there, which is why I brought up those polls earlier. So in the community tab right now, I've got polls. So one poll is, hey, do I go for the option to complete all the Volume 1 topics, if you will, or to move on to Volume 2 topics, or do I stay more focused on lab and review videos and make more of that? And then I've got another poll that's about the current content mix. So for those of you that have been around the channel, is the mix just right as it is? Do you want more instructional content like explainers of how something works in CCNA? Or do you want more of these review kind of videos about labs and terminology mind maps and interview reviews and that kind of thing? So I'd love it if a lot of you could give feedback, give me comments there, answer the polls, and help me figure out what you want more of here at this channel. Hey, as with any of these videos, leave me a comment, give me a share, give me a like, help me get the word out about the channel and grow the channel. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell so you'll get notified of new videos and join in this new lab series here in early 2025. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy the celebrating. Talk to you soon.